next on EA Sports.
Renamed in late 2020, there's a look at Lumen Field here in Seattle, Washington. This crowd, as we've come to expect in recent years, as loud as any in the NFL, and they get even louder when their Seahawks are introduced. We're ready for football as the Seahawks get set to do battle with the Washington football team. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gordon. Charles, you look at this Seahawks team as they get ready here. They've been playing their best football of the year, winners of 4 in a row. Meanwhile, for visiting Washington, the ball on the tee, we're set for football. And off we go from Seattle. And we will not see a run back on the opening kickoff. This will be a touchback. Seattle's first go on offense for center, of course. Wilson will hand to Carson on the option. And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high power, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. I tell you what, CD, this Washington defense, very strong in the victory last week.
Yeah, and what stood out to me on tape, the way they were flying to the football. So that tells me that they've got all their assignments down, and they're playing with extreme confidence.
And he is going to have a Seahawks first down by about a yard as they're able to convert on 3rd and 2. Defense had a chance to get off the field here in the opening drive, couldn't do it.
I know that we go into these meetings with coaches, and sometimes maybe we can get, a little bit numb because they're always going to talk about how important 3rd down is, aren't they? Offense and defense. In this case, one capitalized, and the other, as you said, had a chance to get off the field and didn't get it done.
So now we have Jackson slow to get back on his feet. Appears to be shaken up. Well, he gets attended to. We'll step aside. From the 39, Wilson completes this to Callaway over on the right side.
I have no crystal ball up here. I can't truly see into the future. But if they don't start getting some pressure on him, make him move around a little bit and do something with the receivers to, change up their timing, they're just going to get shredded as we've seen so far. Right now, they're off to a blazing start.
Yeah, and you are right. He looks way too comfortable back there in the pocket.
Yeah, there shouldn't be a pillow back there for him, all right? If as a defensive guy, they've got to dump him on his backside a few times, shake things up.
Yeah, they're going to need an in-drive adjustment here on this first series. No gain on the play, and it'll bring up a 3rd down. Wilson. This one swung out to Montgomery. And they'll get this across the midfield stripe, but still winding up short of the first down. They do get 7 out of that, but not enough to prevent a 4th down. And they're getting him involved early.
You feel like they saw something on tape, or they just have a sense with him because he's had a good week of practice or something in that area that they want him involved. Just as you said, they want him to touch it either in the running game or the passing game, but they must like the matchups they're getting.
So out comes the Washington offense onto the field. They'll be led out by the #1 overall pick in the 2018 draft, the Oklahoma Sooner, Baker Mayfield. Mayfield on first down. And that's complete. Albert Okwuegbuna now. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And it'll be second and very short.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Sliding out of the pocket. This one complete to Curtis Samuel. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line.
And time to give some credit to the big fellas, the offensive line here, because you've got to have good protection on crossing routes, because you got to give your receiver time to work all the way across the field. That time, be able to scan the field, spot his receiver moving left to right, and make a good, accurate throw. Thank you, guys.
Now a dump off here complete.
And I like the idea here. Get the ball in his hands, even if it's in the passing game. 3 catches a week ago, and he does a nice job here to pick up yardage.
They'll run for the first time with Antonio Gibson. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
On second down, it's Gibson. Oh, nice move. And he's out of bounds as he gets this down to the 45. It's a 6-yard run, leaves him with about a foot or so here still to go to hit the marker with third down coming up. And now Mayfield on the bootleg. Rolling to his right. This will be caught. It's Samuel. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds.
Now that's all about making something happen as a quarterback, because instead of forcing something on third down, how about him buying some time outside of the pocket, waiting for someone to come open, and when he did, he put it on him for a big play and a first down.
From the red zone now, Mayfield. Throw right side is going to be caught by Samuel. 7 yards, the pickup there.
Well, I know from past experience, before you actually play a game, you visualize what's going to happen. And I don't know anyone who doesn't visualize themselves being in the center of what's going on. That's 3 catches for him here in the early going. He's got to like the way this has started.
Absolutely. 3 catches on any drive is good. Opening drive, that's a tone setter. Now the Georgia Southern man, it's Matt Breida. And now time will be called here as Washington has an injured player down on the field. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break. Here we go now on 1st and goal. Mayfield looks to throw. And he's got his man in stride, complete. These are his numbers from last week's contest. 4 catches, 81 yards.
And he's able to pull that last pass in, but this is usually a pretty tough unit to try and maneuver against. They're in the top 10 in the league against the pass, and you and I both know there's not much difference between 1 and 10.
2nd down and goal. Mayfield to the end zone, but it's incomplete.
I'm going to need some help with this one. How did he miss him? Wide open in the end zone. He's not hurried. He's not hit. And somehow, incomplete?
Yeah.
What happened?
During film study, that's one where he's just going to shake his head, not be able to believe it.
6 points go by the wayside on that one.
They'll try to run with Gibson. And he is into the end zone for a Washington touchdown.
Nice play, man.
Antonio Gibson, his 19th touchdown now on the season. And Washington has taken a first quarter lead. So it was the passing game that got him down here, but closer to the goal line, it's the running game that gets him home.
Certainly appears that they lulled the defense into thinking that the passing game was going to be it the entire drive. Nice change up there going to the running game to get him over the goal line.
Extra point by Sly is up and good, and that makes the score 7-0. So that one a pretty time-consuming 10-play drive, and it ends with a 1-yard touchdown run. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And he'll just take a seat, and the drive will begin at the 25-yard line. Seattle's offense coming back onto the field, ready for their second drive. And, Charles, you look at these two teams, these are those kind of litmus test games in the second half of the season that if you're a coach or a player, you can either really look forward to them or really dread them, depending on your point of view.
And if you're dreading them, you're not going to go very far in the playoffs. You need to look forward to these kind of games because here we've got two division leaders, both real contenders for the NFC title. And you're right, you love having easy games on your schedule, but you need some games like this to toughen you up a bit and ensure that you're ready for the shock of playoff football.
On 2nd and 7, Wilson into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 21, and they're already in the red zone. The 18-yard line is where they take over. So a first interception thrown for him there, and that really not the best decision either.
Not at all, and that's something he did not do in their victory last week. No interceptions in that game, but this defense, they're able to take advantage of an early mistake. Now let's see if they're going to turn it into points.
Following the interception, Mayfield, he'll buy some time right. He's got Jordan complete right side. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4.
And remember, this drive started off following the turnover, and they've taken no time working their way down the short field. A nice connection there, and now they're looking at a 1st and goal.
Now Mayfield. Touchdown! That's caught. Brevin Jordan, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And Washington going to add on to their lead.
You get down near the goal line, this is where having a sure-handed tight end becomes a luxury, and it pays off big time, especially when the defense sells out against the run, and he finds himself open for an easy touchdown.
Now Joey Sly for the point after. And it's good, and they have jumped out here to a quick 14-0 first quarter lead. They had the short field, and they made quick work of it. Just 2 plays to get into the end zone. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. No run back here, down to a knee, and this drive will start at the 25. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And they're in an early hole. The first drive, they threw the interception. That led to a touchdown, so decent-sized deficit early on.
It is, but I think you hit the key words, early on. So they have to decide, do we even need to change game plan? Or do we just need to execute better and try and get back in this game?
14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Throwing now, Wilson on 1st down. And this throw a bit late as he couldn't reach back for it.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, he's got 2nd and 3rd down to fall back on.
Wilson's throw caught here by Metcalf. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a 1st down.
Wilson will throw again. And that's incomplete.
They've given up a few first downs on this drive, but getting the incompletion there, that should give them something to build on and maybe turn the tide.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Now it's Wilson. Over the middle, that's caught by Metcalf. And they're going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at Washington's 35.
Well, these guys have definitely been outplayed in the first half. I like their countenance. I like the way that they haven't panicked out there, the way they're carrying themselves. They're starting to move the ball, and what you have to do, maintain your poise and start to put together some drives.
And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. Another 13 yards there twice in a row, and they're on the move. Another first down as well.
And this has been a nice answer to the touchdown drive against them a few minutes ago because they've come out and reestablished the tempo. A nice throw there, and they're putting together a very strong drive as a response.
And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
I have a feeling they'll stay committed to running the football, especially on their early downs. They just haven't had a whole lot of success just yet.
A rare misstep on that last play because the drive has been strong, but now it's 2nd and 12. Now it's Wilson. Dumps this one off to Chris Carson. And he takes it down to the 10-yard line. Seems as if the passing attack's starting to heat up a little bit here in the second quarter.
You can sense and you can see the momentum because now they're reading their patterns downfield, they're understanding the coverages, and they're finding the open holes in the defense.
An inaugural trip to the red zone here for the Seahawks. They've got a 1st and goal from the 10-yard line. Now Wilson. And that throw behind his man, he missed him, incomplete. Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They've looked lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
On 2nd and goal, Wilson. And he's got his big tight end here. And it looks like he'll be just a yard shy of the 5 here as he's out at the 6. That time the completion goes for 4 yards, and we're set up with a 3rd and goal. To throw again is Wilson. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete. More problems here on 3rd down. They've converted only once so far in this first half.
And you know as well as I do in this league, if you don't win on 3rd down, it makes it hard to win a ball game because then you're relying on your defense, you're relying on your special teams. You've got to get it done with your offensive unit.
So they do get 3 points, but that's now 3 drives with only the 3 points, not a ratio that's going to win you many ball games.
Not at all, Brandon, and think about it this way. We all know payoff is the key, right? And wouldn't we love to have the concession on every T-shirt that's been printed in football that says finish on it? Because that's the mantra everywhere. Got to be able to finish drives, put points on the board.
Fielded just outside the goal line. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. Well, here we go on the next drive for Washington. And right now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, can't ask for a better start than that, can you? I mean, this is the way you practice it. This is the way you rehearse it. But right now, the play calling, they're locked in really well.
And they're going to stop it right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10. If this defense wants to stay in this ballgame, they've got to start ending some drives. That helps.
And they have to look ahead at what they expect the offense to do. And right now with that lead, that's run the football. So you don't just stack the line of scrimmage. You have to get upfield and try and make some plays in their backfield.
Mayfield's throw pulled in by Jefferson. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
Simple drag route here, lined up out left and tried to work his way back across the field. You probably saw me twitch there, partner, because I think he wanted the ball a little bit sooner. By the time he looked it in, defender was right on him.
Throwing, Mayfield. That's complete, Okuebuna. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And all the way down inside the 25 before he's out of bounds. A big play there on the catch and run. Well, and this is where quarterbacks' passing numbers sometimes get a little bit more inflated than they should, because this is a short little pass, but it goes for big yardage.
Yeah, and we've seen a few moments like this in the first half already from this defense. You know you're going to give up some catches, but it's what they do after the catch that's really been hurting them. And it does again right there.
And the numbers on the next-gen stats, it always tells us the story. He tacked on better than 40 yards after the catch. So the big play gets him all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. Mayfield now. This one to the right, caught by Valdez-Scantling. And he will be brought down at about the 6-yard line.
Boy, how about the speed with which this offense can get down the field? It's taking them no time at all to get down here. And now they're set up with a 1st and goal.
They'll run with Gibson. And he takes it in. Touchdown, Washington. Antonio Gibson with touchdown number 20 on the year. And Washington is able to stretch their lead. So simple math here in the first half. They've had 3 drives offensively, and they have scored every time, and they've got the lead.
Well, whenever we talk about adjustments, we usually talk about an offense making adjustments, right? This is all about the defense. They've got to figure out some way, somehow to slow them down. Do they blitz a little bit more? Do they play more zone coverage? Right now, they don't know where to go because they're hitting them in every direction.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And he'll decide to not bring this one out as their drive will begin at the 25. Now the ball now going back over the Seattle Seahawks offense. And this, let's face it, an important drive if they're going to get back into this ballgame.
Think about going into the locker room down 21-10 as opposed to 21-3. 21-10, a little more optimism, a little more bounce around the locker room, a little more discussion about how they're going to finish this thing off. 21-3, I think discouragement clouds that locker room.
Yeah, and I think a touchdown much bigger than a field goal on this drive just to get into the end zone and get that momentum.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
And he cannot avoid the pressure as the Washington pass rush gets home. Deron Payne, make that now 8 sacks for him on the season. Well, last game he had 2 sacks, got another one here picked up right where he left off.
Brandon, he spent the entire offseason working on new moves, new techniques, trying to add to his arsenal of pass rush moves. Certainly paying dividends in what we've seen so far.
And he'll be stopped at the 27-yard line, well short of the first down marker. They get 12 yards back, but it still leads to a 4th and long. Now here's Michael Dixon as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. First kick, 47. This one looks good as well. It's a 45-yard punt, just a 1-yard return. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. And the ledger for them so far looks pretty good, doesn't it?
It certainly does. Touchdown, touchdown, touchdown. Not sure it can be much better than that. They've got to feel very good about the group.
Now Mayfield lost the football, but this will get out of bounds, so possession will stay the same. Give him 10 that time, escaping the danger, running with it, and picking up a first down. Here's a give to Gibson. Muscles him off. And some room to maneuver. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. 46 yards rushing for him now with a couple of touchdown runs to boot. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. Play action now. Here's Mayfield. They'll roll him out right. And he's got this to Jefferson. And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line.
That's a big league job there of getting out of the pocket, not panicking, and just buying himself some time. Then he made a good, accurate throw to set up 1st and goal.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he is into the end zone for a Washington touchdown. Antonio Gibson, his 21st touchdown of the season. And Washington able to stretch that lead out even further. Extra point by Sly is up and good. And a rout is on here in this first half. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee, and they'll bring the football out to the 25. And the Seahawks offense going to get one final possession in this first half. And with the score where it is, even though I think they'd love to get back to the locker room, they may be forced to try and get something out of this drive. 30 seconds remain in this first half as they come up here 1st and 10.
Mike 56, Mike 56. I got him. 56 Mike.
To throw is Wilson. They'll find Everett there, complete. And he gets this up to the 34 out of bounds there. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's 2nd and a yard from the 34. Here's Wilson. And he drops it incomplete. And their struggles continue here.
And there's a good opportunity. Just went awry there. A drop pass. I guess that's why they call them running backs and not catching backs.
They tried to throw on 2nd down. Unsuccessful. Now it's 3rd and 1. Here's Wilson. That's going to be complete to his tight end, Everett. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40.
When you're struggling on offense, you're looking for anything possible to get you going. Sometimes you do it like basketball teams that don't normally press. You put a press on, bring people to life, make them move a little bit quicker. Maybe that'll help them as they head towards the half.
On 1st down, Wilson. And the catch is made here by Tyler Lockett. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts as they stop it with 11 seconds remaining in this first half. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. So it looks like somebody may have forgotten the snap count, and a 5-yard penalty ensues. That's going to set them back 5 yards. Wilson. And that is incomplete, stopping the clock with 5 seconds to go.
Not only did he have a chance to scan the field there, it felt like he had a chance to scan it twice. The protection was that good. Unfortunately for him, the coverage downfield, equally good.
He's going to loft one deep over the middle. Got a man, it's caught at the 6-yard line. And he's in for the touchdown on the final play of the first half. The prayer is answered.
How did they get that done?
Well, certainly they haven't had the ideal first half, but there's some momentum for them to take into halftime.
Yeah, and it might not be that wild momentum, you know, that you see sometimes where they score late and teams go sprinting off and the whole deal. No, it might not be that, but it does give them a better feeling about themselves and what they can accomplish in the second half.
Extra point splits the uprights, and that'll cut the lead down to 18.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. Welcome in, everyone, to our EA Sports Halftime Report. Let's get you caught up on what's going on around the NFL. We'll begin up north at MetLife Stadium over in New Jersey, where it was the visiting Cowboys who got the win on the road. Amari Cooper leading the way with 3 touchdown catches. From there, let's get over to the...
There you have it. Halftime quickly over. Third quarter, here we go. Okay, Coach, thanks as always to you and the gang in Orlando as we welcome everyone back in for quarter number 3. The final 2 quarters of the NFL regular season are upon us as the second half of Week 17 is underway. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24. The Washington offense ready to go to begin the third quarter. They've really distanced themselves. They have put the pedal to the metal, I guess, so to speak.
So definitely have them in the rearview mirror, don't they? I mean, you're exactly right. Being able to string together these drives that end up in points, it's almost like a run in basketball to create that distance, and they're on a really big-time one right now.
It becomes contagious, doesn't it?
It absolutely does, because oftentimes it translates to your defense as well, because they're excited about getting the ball back for their offense that's playing so well.
Well, they are clicking right now. Mayfield on play action, sliding out of the pocket. That ball is caught. Marquez Valdez-Scantling, and he's taken down right at the 45-yard line.
And while we may be looking at the scoreboard, this offense certainly is not, because they're showing no signs of backing down, even with a 3-score lead here in the third quarter. I think they keep taking their shots. They've seen blown leads happen throughout this league. They don't want to fall victim to it themselves.
Give him a couple on the scramble. It's second down.
Yeah, not much there that time, and I think we were both wondering once he got out of the box whether he just throw the ball away and he winds up only picking up a yard or 2.
To throw again on second down. Mayfield flushed out right. Open man is Jordan, the tight end. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. Whatever the discussions were at halftime to try to slow down this offense, it has not worked to this point.
Yeah, I have a vision right now of everything that was discussed at the half just being torn in shreds or being erased off of the Microsoft Surface tablets, because none of it is working. They are really locked in on offense.
5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down. After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. Play fake. Mayfield. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
That was an interesting look there, because as soon as he got outside the pocket, I thought he was going to take off and run for yardage. But what often happens now with these quarterbacks who can move, defenses want to try and keep bodies in front of them, and I think that discouraged him from taking off and made him try a pass downfield that fell incomplete.
He'll get that complete to Albert O. Touchdown, Washington. Albert Okwuegbunam, his 11th touchdown of the year. And Washington going to add on to their lead. Extra point by Sly is up and good. And they open the lead up now to 25. So the drive winds up going 75 yards in 7 plays. And it was polished off by a Washington touchdown. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And this will be a touchback, so they'll bring it out to the 25. And as this offense makes their way back out, NFC playoff race time, we give you a look at what's going on there. And for them, it's no longer a question of will they make the playoffs. They've clinched the division title. The question, can they hold on to that #1 seed?
And this is where the mental fortitude comes to play, doesn't it? Because now you're not just the coach talking about it. It's team talking about it to each other, supporting each other, carrying each other along, because having that #1 seed means everything in the NFL.
It does. So even though the division title's clinched, shouldn't take the foot off the gas.
No, not at all. Play it all the way through, and I think we've seen that in recent years in the NFL. The teams that play and play to win each and every game, they're the ones to deal with in the playoffs.
There's a ball thrown right side and complete. And they work this well upfield across the 45.
There's a nice pickup right there. And after watching that play, I'm thinking about all the lost opportunities that they've had so far in this game. But right now, just focus on continuing to move the ball the way they did on the last play.
On first down, it's Carson. And he's got it across the midfield stripe and into Washington territory. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down. Now Wilson. Left side complete to Lockett. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or two shy of the 30.
Well, maybe this offense has learned something from watching their counterparts work. I'm wondering if their coaching staff said, let's do what they've been doing the entire game, because that's worked well. This offense, they have not looked particularly good all game long. But a nice throw there for a good gain and a first down.
Here's a throw to his running back. It's complete. And he'll get this one down to about the 20-yard line.
It's taken a while for this offense to get going. A little creaky at the start, but they're oiled up now. A nice throw there, and they're really putting together a good drive.
Hey, pick it up, defense. Let's go. So Mike's number one.
From the red zone now, here's Wilson on first down. That's taken in by Callaway. No gain there on the completion. 2nd and 10.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. They're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
And he's going to go down. Back at the 27-yard line, he's sacked. Deron Payne in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him.
But nothing takes a start to have a good drive quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
No, now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
A pass underneath for Carson. And they'll get him down about 3 yards short of the first. 14 yards is the pickup there, but it'll still lead to a 4th down.
Nice job understanding the situation. 3rd and long, kept the play in front of them and made the tackle. They gave up a good chunk of yardage, but it does force a 4th down.
And his kick is good. And they're back within 3 scores as it's now a 22-point game. So the 3 points there, and CD, that helps them inch a bit closer.
Yeah, partner, when you're losing, any points you see go on the board in your favor, you're happy to take them.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. Out comes Washington's offense as they get set to take over here. And now you've got the clock winding down here in the 3rd quarter. You're 3 scores to the good. What's your approach on this drive?
Too early to fully commit to playing the clock game. Yet at the same time, you're also not going pell-mell like you would in 2-minute offense. This is what NFL offenses call 4-minute football. Take the clock out of the game a little bit, wind it down, but at the same time, keep advancing the ball down the field. This offensive game plan has just been sensational. I mean, when you think about all the different ways they've gotten their receivers open so far, it's really been impressive. Scheme, design, execution.
Forced out to his left. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds.
He's starting to fall into the category of not fair, because when he's on target throwing the ball, he's dangerous. But when you add in his ability to make plays with his feet, almost impossible.
Well, yeah, exactly. They've had trouble stopping him in the secondary. This time they've got the great coverage. Oh, he can run too. A gain of 6 there on first. And that is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Seattle, Washington. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4. It's a 1st down and more for Gibson. And he'll be taken down at the 26. 74 yards for him on the ground now, and 3 touchdowns to go along with it. Here's Gibson. And not much of a hole there as he gets it down to about the 24-yard line. Tackled by Darrell Taylor.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Jamal Adams. And the Seahawks are going to take possession here at their own 16-yard line. If you combine last week and this week, he's got a hat trick going because he had 2 interceptions a week ago.
He's seeing the ball so well and understanding where receivers are and positioning. I mean, just watching him work with such great technique and paying it off by actually catching the ball when he has a chance, he's helping his team in a huge way.
Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. And their 4-game win streak very much in jeopardy as they go to work here late with a 1st and 10. After the interception, here's Wilson. Completes this to Callaway over on the right side. And able to get this across the 20 before going out of bounds. A gain of 6 there on 1st. From the 22, Wilson. And this will be caught by his big wide receiver. Charles, this one not over, certainly, but you set the magic number earlier in this game at 20 points. Said that they would need to hold them right around that marker under it. What are you seeing here?
Well, that number is still in play because we said, okay, 20 or under gives them a chance to win. Right on pace for being in that range. And guess what? They've got a shot.
2nd and 10. Throwing again here, Wilson. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 2 first downs have him up to the 41 now for 1st and 10. Now it's Wilson. That is caught by Callaway. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. You cannot write these guys off just yet, not with a quarterback like that under center.
You mean it actually crossed your mind with him running the team that you could actually maybe write this game off?
Not yet.
Not a chance. Not with him. We've seen it too many times.
They try to set up the screen. Oh, nearly disaster. But it's incomplete. Not much chance of that working. Almost intercepted. It's 2nd down.
56, the mark, boys. 56. Check 56.
2nd and 10 now, Wilson. And he's got this one complete to Callaway. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. 5 yards, now it's 3rd and 5. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. Ball had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going. You know, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
Touchdown, Seahawks. Whoa! Zach Davidson, his first touchdown on the year. And the Seahawks have got it back to a 2-score game here in the 4th. So now a 2-point conversion attempt coming for Wilson and the Seahawks. Wilson going to throw for it. And now the pressure gets there, and he goes down. So he couldn't get rid of the football, and that deficit stays right where it is. So tried to throw it in for 2 points, but the D got home, brought him down.
Yeah, got home, which means there had to be good coverage. Just had nowhere to go with the ball. Typically, you try and throw quick hitters, quick slants, you know, maybe even a quick fade. Nothing was open. He ends up getting sacked.
Another drive coming up for this Washington offense. Well, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this 4th quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs to keep up with your theme there, playing keep away. They can't touch the ball.
On second down, here's Gibson again. And he'll take this up near the 35, maybe the 34. It's a 5-yard gain, but they'll still be a yard short here with third down now looming.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
They'll run with Gibson. And he's got the first down yardage before he's brought down at the 42. 91 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long. On 1st and 10, it's Gibson. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Well, sometimes as a running back, you've got to be able to improvise when the hole's not where you expect it to be. But in this case, there wasn't any improvisation that he could do that was going to work. Kind of like if you're trying to be a comedian on open mic night at the Improv and you run into a tough crowd.
So it's Washington with the football here as we welcome you back. And the scoreboard on their side, they're just looking to melt away these final couple of minutes and put this one in the left-hand column. And this one taken in on the right sideline, but not in the field of play. They say it's incomplete. The throw led him a little too far. It brings up third down. So the failure to connect on second down, that leaves him staring up here at a 3rd and 8. Working out of the gun, Mayfield. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40.
Let's go! Let's go!
Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. So instead of running, Mayfield's going to throw it here. That's complete. Okuegbunam. Now the Seahawks call the second of their 3 timeouts. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. Gibson here running out of the gun. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down. They go play action. Mayfield rolling to his right. Touchdown. It's complete. Marquez Valdez-Scantling, his 9th touchdown of the season. And Washington is able to stretch their lead.
Is it okay if I break one of our rules, partner, which is to never call a game over until it's over? Because this certainly feels like it's over after that drive.
Yeah, that was spirit-crushing, wasn't it? And now you just kind of felt the air go out of the balloon.
Yeah, they were fighting so hard to stay in there, and they knew they had to stop them on that drive. But when they were unable to, I think you're exactly right. You could see them sag on their sideline, and I think this one might just be over.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. Let's just be frank. They're playing for pride at this point.
That's all that's left, because victory, not a chance now. And I can't wait to see how they actually go about doing it, because there are a lot of people watching the body language of the guys on the field now, and if they call plays they want executed, they need to do that and do it really well. Otherwise, there could be repercussions.
We'll see how they handle the waning moments of this one. Meanwhile, Wilson's throw into the hands of Lockett. Now they got to get to the line quickly. On 3rd and 1, Wilson. Returning right back to Lockett. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. And quickly they get to the line. Again, Wilson. Now that's to the tight end, Davidson. It's another 10 yards on that one and another first down. A good position to be in here, 2nd and inches. 20. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. Now after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside. So now following the big play, they've got a 1st and goal all the way down at the 10. Here's Wilson to throw. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And down inside the 10 here before he's out of bounds right around the 7. 3 yards the gain there, 2nd down.
Partner, it took a while for him to lock onto a receiver, and he finally found his man coming left to right across the formation. But by the time he got the ball to him, not much of a chance to turn upfield and make anything out of it.
The quick slant caught. And he'll get this down inside the 5 to the 4 before he's out of bounds. And just 3 yards on the catch there. He couldn't get away. And that'll lead here to a 3rd down. Throwing is Wilson. This is caught. They call it a loss of a yard there. And that'll bring up 4th down.
Excuse my snarkiness here, but isn't the idea of completing a pass supposed to mean you get downfield and gain yards?
Especially on 3rd down.
Yeah, that one. How about the defense? Figured that one out in a big way. Yeah, they completed it all right and lost yardage.
And a field goal obviously means nothing here. They're going to go ahead and go for it on 4th down. End zone caught. Touchdown, Seattle. David Montgomery with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Seahawks' decision to go for it pays off with 6 points. One last shot for Wilson. To the end zone, but it's incomplete. Tough there. Good pass. Hit the hands. He just couldn't bring it in.
And every receiver's coach everywhere. Seeing that play, focus, focus, focus. Watch it all the way in and tuck it away.
Well, the lead late in the 4th, but Mayfield's going to throw it. He'll rifle this one deep right side. And it's incomplete. They're still throwing to the very end, but now this game is over. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up